Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to share all of the monthly expenses my wife and I accrued from our month-long stay in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with breakdowns by category as well as some of our significant expenses. At the end, I'll compare our February expenses to what we spent last month. We hope this will help give you an idea of what it costs for a couple to travel full-time in Kuala Lumpur. Let's start by taking a look at our housing costs. Our Airbnb was a very nice one-bedroom apartment in a high-rise condo building in the Bukit Bintang neighborhood, with a balcony and an outstanding view of the area, including KL Tower. The total cost for the 28 days was $850.66, or $15.19 per person per night. This was an exceptional value compared to what something of this quality would cost in other countries outside of Southeast Asia. We arrived in Kuala Lumpur on Malaysia Airlines from our previous destination, Chiang Mai, Thailand. Our flight was about 3 hours and the airfare was $617.72. When we arrived in Kuala Lumpur, or KL, we took the KLII Express train from the airport to an area where we could reach our Airbnb, and those tickets cost $25.07. We did do a lot of walking this month, but we also utilized Grab, which is like Uber, for some of our trips out and about when there was a long distance to walk or it wasn't easily walkable. Grab is extremely affordable here, and our total expenditures for the month was $50.49. Our total monthly travel cost totaled $693.28, or an average of $12.38 per person per day. Obviously, the bulk of these expenditures were the airline flight to KL. For our food and dining, we ate out for many of our meals because there were a widely diverse array of cuisines and menus that we wanted to try, and because eating out in KL is pretty affordable, with many meals costing around $10 to $15 for both of us. For the month, we spent a total of $940.01 on dining out. We did do some grocery shopping so that we could prepare meals at our Airbnb, and our grocery cost for the month came to $651.21. Our total food and dining for the month was $1,591.22, or an average of $28.42 per person per day. Kuala Lumpur has many great places to see, and we took advantage of the opportunity to explore many of them. One of these was a hop-on, hop-off bus, which is a great way to get your bearings around Adu City. We also visited the KL Bird Park and the KL Eco Park, as well as tours up to the top of the Petronas Twin Towers and to the sky deck at KL Tower. There are many free things to do in KL, so our entertainment costs were fairly reasonable. Our total entertainment costs for the month were $177.85, with the majority of this attributable to the Petronas Twin Towers and KL Towers tours, which, while a bit more pricey, were well worth the cost. Our total per person daily average for the month for entertainment was $7.84 per person per day. Where we did see some increased costs this month was in our discretionary category. And although most of these were planned specifically for KL due to the quality and affordability of accessing them there, they were significant expenses nonetheless. One of our largest expenses was our trip to Prince Court Medical Center, where we both got full health assessments. This included many screenings and tests, along with a review from a physician during the process and another review at the completion of it. We also got boosters for one of our vaccines, and I went to see a specialist to get a minor concern ruled out. The entire expense for all of these healthcare services was $1,030.91, which is actually less than our monthly health insurance premium when we lived in the US. Dana also chose to get her dental checkup and cleaning while we were in KL, and that cost her $74.80. We did purchase some new shoes, which was a long time coming, and a couple new pieces of clothing and a few additional travel items, as many were needed after 16 months of travel, and they were quite affordable in KL. We spent a total of $485.94 on these purchases. Additionally, we had the usual medications and toiletries that we purchased at pharmacies, which totaled $91.90. The total for all of these expenses came to $1,683.55. Lastly, I'll share some of our recurring monthly costs. This included our health insurance premium with Cigna Global, which is $383.50, our storage unit in the US, which was $121, our cell phone plan at $181.91, and our subscriptions for Netflix, Hulu, and other streaming services like that, which totaled $162.10. This was higher than usual because we've been taking some online language courses. Our total recurring monthly cost was $848.51. We were very happy with the affordability in KL, especially for accommodations, and we're looking forward to our second month there. Our entire expenditures for the month in Kuala Lumpur was $5,845.07, or $104.38 per person per day. This was another one of our more cost-effective months of full-time travel. Now I'll compare this month's expenses to last month's, where we spent most of our time in Chiang Mai, Thailand, along with a few days in Bangkok at the start of the month. As I mentioned, our housing in KL was extremely affordable and ended up being almost 30% less than what we spent last month. Our food costs rose just 4.6%, although I did expect these costs to go down as KL seems to be a bit less expensive than Thailand, so we'll need to do some analysis on why this increased. Our travel for the month was up considerably at 85% compared to last month, which was due to our airfare from Chiang Mai to Kuala Lumpur. This should be lower next month as we're remaining in KL with the exception of airfare from our trip to Langkawi, which was less than $200 round trip. For our entertainment expenses, we did visit some sites in KL, but those costs were 63% less than the previous month. This was largely because we didn't take many guided tours or ones that included transportation, which we did do in Chiang Mai. Our other expenses category is where we really saw a spike at over 1,000%, which was largely due to the health exams and some clothing purchases. Since these will only occur every year or so, and because we plan for them, I'm not too concerned, and I also feel we got excellent value for what we spent. Our recurring expenses went up slightly at 4.3%, which is attributable to the language courses. Overall, our expenses for this month compared to last month were up by almost 30%. If we break it out on a per person per day cost, we're actually up almost 43% over the previous month. However, if we remove the costs associated with the health assessments and services at Prince Court, our costs for the month were only up about 6%, which I don't consider to be a huge variance. Next month's cost breakdown will also cover Kuala Lumpur along with our 4 days in Langkawi, so we're hoping to see some of these expenditures come down for the month and get it more back in line with what we spent in January. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see future episodes of our full-time travel cost breakdown.